Hey guys, welcome back to Abby Normal Resin Crafting. Today I'm working on some Christmas preparations. I am going to be working on 3 of the projects that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. And we're going to get started by separating out the resin, and I'm going to do 3 different colors with my pigment paste. This one is green. We're also going to do some white and some red. So what I'm doing here is I'm adding in the green into the metal Santa, and I'm taking this orange wood stick, lightly dropping those in carefully, trying not to go over the metal edges. Continuing the color on the Santa, adding in some white here. Then we will go ahead and add in some light red and some darker red. Filling in the hat and his coat, and then we're going to move on to my favorite project of the video, this flat ceramic style ornament. And what I'm doing is I'm pooling in the center in a bullseye type pattern, starting off with clear so it'll spread, and then I'm just going to alternate white, red, green until I get a decent amount of resin that I can spread over the entire surface, but hopefully not run over the edges too much. I do want it to run over slightly to provide the effect that I'm looking for. But yes, we're just going to continue on with the bullseye pattern. If you hear my dog snoring in the background, that's my darling little Alice doing her favorite thing, napping on the couch beside me. But we're going to continue on with the bullseye pattern until I develop a big enough pool of resin here. And then we will go into the next stage of this design. And here at this point I decided that my colorants were getting a bit gloopy, so I wanted to add in some fresh clear resin and help that pool to spread out a little bit more. And as you can see, it's pulling up some of the green, which is a positive effect. I was glad I did that. So I did add in about 10 drops of clear resin, and then I go back in with my the red, the green, and the white and continue my bullseye pattern. So we're on the last layer now of the bullseye pattern, and I just go in with 1 more drop of the green, some more white, and then I'm going to add in a good amount of clear just to help spread that all around. So once I drop in the clear, we're going to move on to the next step. I just pick up the whole entire ornament and move the entire bullseye pool all the way around, carefully avoiding the edges at this point, but I do want to get all of my resin spread out and nicely kissing that edge. Then we're going to move on, give it a nice spritz of isopropyl alcohol, and watch these cells just start appearing out of, just beautiful. I love how this alcohol ink or alcohol isopropyl added those cells right in. Then I go in with the alcohol ink in the deep, very deep, like ruby red. Now I'm taking a silicone tool here and just scribing my way from the center out to the edges, just to make like a candy cane pattern was kind of what I was going for here. Alright, so the candy cane pattern is to my liking, and then I just pop in 1 little snowflake sequin and let it settle right into the center. Okay, on to the new bow mold. I'm just taking the extra little bits that I had from my bullseye pattern, and we're going to fill in some of these bows. I'm going to kind of split up the colors and see if I can get a good combination between the two. So the top of this bow is red, and we're going to fill in the lower part with some white, and then we'll do a couple of other pattern mixes and see what we wind up with. Using up the leftover clear resin, I added in some silver. It has some big chunks and then some smaller microfine chunks, and we're going to add in some red and some green. Well, all of the green. Why not? Just dump it all in. So we're going to mix this all up, and I didn't want to go overboard on the red too much, so didn't add a whole lot of red, but it was just enough. A couple of drops of glue to thicken that up and to keep those glitters from sinking to the very bottom of the mold. And here we go with this, as you can see, sparkly, gorgeous glitters. And now that it's had a little chance to sit and settle, I'm going to go back in and fill in those empty edges. Just added a little extra to help spread it around, and then we're pulling it to the edges. And this is where I want that to actually go over. I want that pattern to kind of pull apart, spread out, and do its thing, you know, do its lacy, gorgeous thing. And lastly, I just took the rest of my leftover glitters, put them into this ornament mold, and let it do its thing as well. So that is it for the resin for this project, and then we will move on to demolding after this. Okay, next morning we are demolding. That turned out really cool. Here are the extras that I wound up with. I like how I split the red and the white. Cute, looking like a little peppermint over here. And I did also do the same with the green. I had half green, half white. And it's what you call those spearmint type candies. So that one turned out adorable too. And this last one was solid green. So there is the pretty green. Now I'm going to add in on my ornaments, I'm going to put these UV DTF stickers down. So we've got adorable little deer. She is so pretty. The exact thing that I was looking for. She looks so nice on there. Now we're going to put this fox on this one, and then we will finish off with our little raccoon. That one was so easy, so I'm just going to add this bow on top. I really like the color combo with this one. And here are my finished projects. Adorable little bow with my raccoon. I just love him so much. Santa still needs some work. And here is the gorgeous fox, the beautiful deer. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll catch you again on the next one.